When I was first elected in my role as Member of Provincial Parliament 3 years ago, what struck me was how little trust there is in public institutions. Prior to coming here, I was in full-time clinical practice as a physician. And on arriving here, it felt as though I had gone from the most trusted profession to the least trusted profession. And I think Ontarians want to know that their MPPs will represent their best interests, will tell the truth, will act fairly, impartially, and honestly, that their MPPs will not use their office for personal gain, and that they will follow the law. Because no one should be above the law, and no one should be allowed to use their powers or privileges for personal gain. But sadly, there are enough people across Ontario who wonder if Ontario's politicians do use their office for this purpose. Which is why this afternoon, I will deliver legislation that introduces a new oath of office. Until now, the requirement upon getting elected to assume our seat in the chamber was to pledge our allegiance to the King and nothing more, which is why I'm introducing this oath. This oath outlines what I think are really basic principles that nonetheless need to be reiterated at a time that there is record low trust in our government. It calls for things such as telling the truth, acting in the public interest, rejecting payment or reward to be persuaded to act in a biased or corrupt manner, and obeying the principles of our legislature and the laws of our land. It's surprising that these things need to be said out loud, but there are enough Ontarians who want us to say that because they doubt that these are principles that are consistently followed by our government. Now, oaths are already commonplace in professions such as law, policing, and even in municipal governance. They act as a shared set of principles that bind individuals to themselves and to the people that they serve. And if passed, this oath would be an important step in formally and publicly beginning to restore trust in government. Now, I must admit, it will actually be some time after I introduce this before we can debate and hopefully pass this legislation with the support of all members of Provincial Parliament. Today, I will ask all members in the House to voluntarily subscribe to this oath as a powerful signal of their commitment to acting in the public interest and with fairness, honesty, and integrity. A personalized copy of this oath will be delivered on the desk of all members of Provincial Parliament today, and I will be calling on all of them to sign and subscribe to it so we can begin to show our constituents our commitment to representing their best interests above all else. With that, I'm going to sign the oath, and my fellow caucus members will, and we're happy to take your questions.